Here. Thank you. Okay. I love mobility, tethered to wires. We have liftoff. Thank you. Okay. My name is Peter Badger. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Framehawk. I'm actually here with my CTO and co-founder, Stephen Vilk. Framehawk is the best way to get your enterprise applications to mobile with amazing performance and security. We've spent the past 2 years working with the enterprise. We found out there are actually 6 characteristics to the ideal enterprise mobile app. There are 3 expectations from the user and 3 requirements from the enterprise. The user, as in us, the consumer, we expect it to be a native mobile-rich interface. We can have any device and bring consistent fast performance. That's the user expectation. The enterprise requires to prevent data leakage, minimize development effort getting apps to the device, and as importantly, leveraging all the existing applications they already have in their portfolio. You have 100, 1,000, 5,000 apps you've already built. Unfortunately, existing approaches sway towards one place or the other. VDI is about the enterprise, the user was shortchanged. HTML5 and native were all about the user, the enterprise was shortchanged. So what Framehawk has done, we have married virtualization on the back end to take care of the requirements of the enterprise with HTML5 and native on the device side to take care of the user. What does that mean in practical terms? I've given you the high-level architecture here, which essentially says that when you have secure content and applications, put it behind your firewall in the data center, safe and secure, we send the image data to the edge device, allow you to manipulate and control the image of that data with native interface. Okay, let's bring it to life. So I've obviously been showing you a mobile demo for mobile access segment here today, okay? We're on the Framehawk platform, in the cloud, on a mobile network. So this is a day in the life of a financial services person. I have a set of apps I'm used to seeing. I'll walk in the morning, I'll check out my regular news, blogs, websites, or public content. I can see there's been movement in the stock market. Amazon, for instance, is trading before the earnings this afternoon. So let's go and check out some markets. David alluded to the real-time market data here. This actually is a real application. It's thick, rich windows. Tabletized, no development required. You already exist in the enterprise. You already own it. And I can go through here and click through. Check out Amazon. It's trading down before earnings. It's all about click response. No other technology can give you this performance over mobile, any distance on the planet, for real-time market data. This is real. Okay, so I've gone in, checked the stocks. Let's say a call comes from a customer. I want to log it in my CRM. Here's a second use case, SaaS services in the enterprise. The big concern about SaaS in the enterprise is the security concerns. I can go into Salesforce today, bring down a report, confidential proprietary information, and download to the device and be compromised. In our case, this entire application is behind the firewall, safe and secure. Any downloads, documents are in the data center, not on the device. So I've shown you a few applications here. You can then start to go between apps, interact with them, check prices, check news. You can go and enter more calls. Even use the launchpad here. You can switch apps quicker than you can change TV channels at home. No other technology does that right now. So back to the clients we have. I've shown you the basics of the platform here with the launchpad. Unfortunately, we're contractually under the radar with most of our clients today. But what I can say is there are customers like UBS, who I can talk publicly about. They have basically created mobile-first applications. They're built for mobile-first with our platform. They've mashed multiple secure applications and content behind the firewall with public content in an amazing mobile experience for their financial advisors to sit in front of the high-net-worth clients. It's actually really impressive stuff. You'll see more of this stuff come out in the next 5 or 6 months as we become more public with this. So, to wrap it up, how do you buy us? We have 2 options: on-premise installation, subscription, yearly pricing, installing your enterprise in the data center, and unleash all your applications you already own, new and old. Or cloud-based PaaS. If you have applications external to customers today, put it in our PaaS cloud offering. Customer segments, we are strong in financial services. That's our DNA, our background, alongside the NASA engineering. We have most recently started pivoting out into other verticals: government, healthcare, oil and gas, telco, etc. 4 years old, we bootstrapped for a couple of years, took a Series A from Bill Coleman of BEA fame, and then we took a Series B from Andy Verhalen at Matrix. So patents pending, 50 people, San Francisco, London, New York base. Good customer base, got some traction, starting to ramp. So please, if you're an enterprise with mobility issues, that's everybody in the room, please give us a call and check out Framehawk's platform. So that's it. Framehawk in 6 minutes. The best way.
Yep. And right on time. So, guys, another one of those means of securely accessing existing enterprise applications without a whole lot of reconfiguration of them. What do you think?
So just the couple quick high-level thoughts. We're heavy in the SaaS area, so we have quite a few applications. So it's kind of good to see your kind of mobile first, your ability to support that type of environment, which is growing. I liked your discussion around DLP. I mean, that's a big thing that we're looking for around, trying to figure out how to do more around data loss prevention, especially as we're trying to look at moving out of just standard content and maybe offering the ability to do more regulated content. And the other thing I liked was the performance. At least based on what you showed, the screen performance going between was pretty strong.
Thank you.
Could you talk a little bit about how you're handling the application visual frameworks? Because it looked like you did a clever job of stripping away all the Windows controls and shipping a lot of that stuff off to the side and making it a little bit more visually appealing. Is that possible with things like SAP GUI and some of the other more kind of fat client software that we have in-house?
So we kind of, one of the approaches we saw, I think actually tool sets are fairly fleeting, let's be honest. There's many of them.
Right.
So if you try and force tool sets on people, then necessarily have failure in a lot of cases. So actually, in terms of the architecture, we gave a bunch of client libraries and APIs. So our goal actually is to kind of give you the plugins to your existing tool sets, let you develop on the mobile devices with the tool sets you've already started to use. It can be native iOS, native Android, one of the many write once run anywhere platforms. On the back end, we're pretty much content agnostic and application language agnostic. So you can build with your existing skill sets in Java Stack, Microsoft Stack, C#, web. It doesn't matter to us anymore. Just build with the skills you have in the enterprise, your back-end services, and then do a thin skin with some native Android HTML5 on the edge device. And that's really the paradigm.
But what's the level of effort to do that thin skin?
Very minimal. I mean, so we actually have out of the box capability. You saw the Launchpad. We have a configurator. Funny word. It's actually we have a way of doing either HTML5 workflow delivered to the device surrounding the container and the applications. Or you have the ability to do some small workflow in native languages or other tools. The whole goal was to not have to redevelop the entire app for the device. And we've saved 95% if you have to do a thin shim and integrate content to the glass. Frankly, for the Launchpad, people are desperate for access to applications from a BYOD perspective today. We're all carrying iPads. The enterprise is kind of like, we're all like, what do we do? Let's just give people instant access through the Launchpad. Existing applications, fine-grained mouse control. They weren't designed for tablets, we know that. You've got a 5, 10, 15-year transition of rewriting for mobile. You can't do this all at once. You've got 3,000 applications already. Let's give them access today. The ones they use regularly start to migrate towards mobile first on the platform in this way. That's the kind of the strategy.
And commenting on the disconnected offline capabilities?
So we're kind of going, so I tell people we're going from the internet to the Ethernet. We're all constantly connected on 2 or 3 devices to a public or private network all the time. So we're going towards that wave. So yeah, if you've got a massive offline use case, we haven't got it right now on the platform. Is it in the architecture? Yes. Could we buy one of the 22 plus MDM providers who are going to flake out the next year and provide us capability? Maybe. We're really going to see what the customers want with customer-driven development. So if you engage with Framehawk now, you can help shape the platform. We'll work it out together. There's a lot of fragmentation, mobility. It's a nightmare to know what to do right now. So really we have the core capability towards the Ethernet. If you're offline, no, not today. Maybe a year from now. If the market demands it, absolutely, we'll build it into the baseline product.
Well, if you could go back to the slide real quick that showed Salesforce, because I think that was an interesting demo, but what most people didn't realize is the extent, what you've done there, because it's fairly innovative. And if you could just describe the use case, because if, on first blush you think, wait a minute, Salesforce is easily accessible through the internet. How is Salesforce making it possible to lock down their app behind the firewall? And then what have you done here to make it more?
So we actually discovered a few little secrets working with our enterprise customers. We found out that a lot of the financial firms who have bought Salesforce, they actually have a lease line from their data center to Salesforce's. They restrict access to the web browser access to their internal network devices.
There's a private pipe from Salesforce.
Correct. There is so much concern about security, they actually don't allow access from outside the corporate network. And so what we said was, you're all walking around with devices, you want to put stuff in there. So in this case, we skinned Salesforce. This is our version of Salesforce's mobile app for one of our clients. And you can click on, this overlay here is actually the Framehawk SDK. Click on accounts, and it's remote control in the back-end application and data center.
So you've stripped the existing menu system off of Salesforce, replaced it with your
Correct.
own to make it more...
We've dressed it up to make it more mobile and touch-friendly. So you've got to start somewhere. Give them access to it securely, start to dress it up slightly, then over time redevelop in a great mobile-first way with our platform SDKs.
And so for those that have added functionality to the Salesforce menuing structure,
Yeah.
does then that automatically port over with your kind of thin shim, or?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're actually, just briefly, we have enterprise community of developers, GitHub, source code repository. With the platform, you get a whole bunch of sample code. So you'll get this when you buy the platform. You can then customize it again if you wish. So we've got a lot of application source. Right now.
It appears you also solved the other thing that's been plaguing us, and that's the subtle incompatibilities of the native iOS browser with all of our web properties in-house. Right. Can you talk a little bit to that?
Around the fact that all browsers are incompatible and HTML5 is going to be a massive problem for the enterprise. I can talk for hours about it. I have this kind of, in our sales approach, we have a mobile maturity index. And all the salespeople know it in my firm. They know people have gone in and they've done things in mobility. Right. Some have done native and they've found the compromise. A lot have talked about HTML5 being the future and haven't done it and don't realize yet. Our clients who have tried HTML5 have found similar problems around performance, incompatibility across browsers and hardware sets. Right. It's not the nirvana it's being claimed to be, ignoring security issues. Steve?
Quick comment on pricing model.
Yeah, subscription pricing. So out of the box, you get first 1,000 users, $250K for the year, on-premise installation. Ramp up with usage.
Okay, we're out of time.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks very much, Peter.